We're going to cover the 3 pillars of marketing your business. There is 3 pillars to marketing your business, and they all lead to sales. That's the goal of everything that we're doing. So I look at it this way. We want to have a balanced, or I call it a 3-legged stool. Number 1, you have your outreach, attraction, and leads or ads. Those are going to filter into appointments, and appointments turn into sales. But how do you even get those appointments? That's usually the question. How do I get appointments? So we're going to cover at a high level each of these pillars, and then I have subsequential, I can't talk, ones afterwards that will actually go more into detail in each of these pillars. All right. So number 1, outreach. Outreach consists of your warm market, your warm-ish market, and your cold market. You're literally outreaching to other people. Next, inside of that, you have your warm market. So this is your top 5, your references, your top 25, your friends, your family. Everyone that you know needs what we do. We do life insurance, we do investments, we do saving people money, saving people taxes. They all need it. The thing is that they might have it and are paying too much. They might not have it because they've never got around to it. Your warm-ish market is people you have on social media, but you don't really know, people from church or groups that you're in or that you join to expand your warm-ish market, your neighbors. So these are people that are not super close to you. It wouldn't make sense sometimes for you to say, call and ask them for a favor. They're like, I don't really know you that well for you to ask me a favor. But they're people that you kind of have a connection with. A lot of times we have a lot of friends on our Facebook list. We don't really know them. For whatever reason, maybe we attended something with them. Maybe we were in a class together. They're in our Facebook list. We don't really know them, but they kind of know us. They see our stuff on social media. So this would be your warm-ish market. Your cold market is people that you do not know at all, but they might be open to hear about your service or opportunity. This is people that fit into your ideal client space, people that you want to meet. Attraction is creating posts that attract people to you. And then leads or ads is buying leads from a lead vendor. There are people that do that, and all they're really doing is placing ads and then selling it to you for a markup. Or you could start to create and post your own ads. So those are the 3 pillars. You've got, again, your outreach, your attraction, and buying leads or placing ads. Outreach, attraction are free. So if at all possible, utilize those so much. Buying leads, I think, should be an enhancement to the other things, but let's not just rely on buying leads to move our business forward. All 3 of them, that 3-legged stool, create a balanced approach to marketing your business. Just like if you were marketing any business, a real estate, a restaurant, a tutoring company, you would probably use a combination of all of these things. No one pillar can feed your family. Now, there is a lot of people that have built their career on building a great top 25 list. That can get you sometimes really far. And if you can do that, that's going to be your fastest way to get appointments, which then is going to be your fastest way to get sales. The thing is that a lot of times people feel uncomfortable about this. They think buying leads or doing social media, attraction marketing is going to feel less scary and is going to be safer for them. I want to challenge you. If you have an income goal of more than $1,000 a month, or if you want to make even that $1,000 a month before the next 6 months, you are going to need to use the other pillars as well. You are going to need to reach out to people, because you just will not be able to get enough momentum fast enough to meet those income goals. So while you're doing the outreach, you're going to build the attraction so that eventually you don't have to do outreach so much or at all. But this is the planting seed part. The outreach is the part that gets you your appointments the fastest and gets you fed the fastest. Attraction takes longer. It's going to take a while for you to really get where you need to go. And we'll talk about those more in detail, but from there, you're going to create your unique plan and your DMO, which is your daily method of operation. A DMO is, what do you commit to do every day to move your business forward, regardless of results? You're going to do it every day, regardless of how you feel. You're going to do it every day, regardless of what else is going on in your life or your family or your house. Oh, you have a flood? You still got to be able to do your DMO. And before you know the what, you need to know the why, and the how is going to reveal yourself. Meaning, what is going to be in your DMO is going to vary based on your unique income goals. And then how much you need to do within that DMO is going to actually reveal itself. So if you've got a big why or a big income goal, you're going to have bigger requirements within that DMO for you to hit your numbers. So what numbers do you need? The average policy commission as an SFA is $740. So an SFA is after your first promotion. You can usually get that first promotion fairly quickly. So I'm going to base the numbers off of that. If you're higher than that, gravy. If you're below that, just know if you're working on this DMO, if you're using these numbers, you're going to get here pretty quickly. So $740, that's someone that is buying a $50 a month policy. That's going to net you an average of about $700. Now, of course, that's just counting one person. You're usually dealing with a couple, which makes these numbers a little bit easier, but I want you to build your business plan off of solid foundation, solid numbers that you know you should be able to hit that, and you should be able to hit your income goal. So what does that look like? So let's say you have an income goal of $5,000 a month. $5,000 divided by 740 is 6.75. So we're going to round that up to needing 7 sales a month. I'm going to increase that to 8 because we want to account for declines. We want to account for things taking a super long time in underwriting. We want to account for that. So we're going to say our goal is 8 sales a month to get our $5,000 income goal. So on a weekly basis, you need to have a certain number of appointments booked. I don't care how you book them. You're going to use those 3 pillars, right? That's for you to figure out. Do you have a strong warm market? It's going to be easier for you to book these 10 appointments. Do you not have a strong market? You're going to have to do more cold outreach, more warmish outreach, and maybe even buy leads or place ads, joining different groups, doing different things to get that list really going so that you can get your 10 appointments booked. So 10 appointments booked in a week would equal 8 sat. So 8 people actually sat down with you, because if you book 10, not everyone's going to show up. Not everyone's going to remember. People are going to reschedule. People are going to vanish. So again, we want to build our business plan on something really solid, something that we can count on. 8 sit down, 4 will buy. Now, that doesn't mean that we forget about the 10 or the 8. That means they go on our follow-up list because maybe they had a fight with their husband, maybe they had a flood in their house, and they just need to book that appointment for a different time. And you can continue to follow up with the 10 appointments that were originally booked, the 8 that sat down with you. You're going to put them on a follow-up schedule. But let's say again, you got 10 appointments booked for the week, 8 are actually going to sit down with you, 4 are actually going to be ready and sign and do a sale with you that week. 4 sales would equal $2,960 in income, which equals $11,840 for the month. So if you have an income goal of $5,000, you need 6 appointments booked, 4 sit, 2 sales, which equals 1488 of income a week, which equals 5920 for the month. So you have outpaced your goal. I showed both there because I want you to notice something. The difference between 6 appointments and 10 booked is not a ton, but the income difference is significantly different. And so if your income goal is 5,000 a month, start with having a goal of having 6 appointments booked. When you first start, there's going to be a ramp up stage because you're learning how to do it. You're not going to be as good at booking an appointment as, say, maybe myself, because I've done it 50,000 times, right? I've had 20 appointments a week at times in my career, week after week after week. I've had sometimes 20 appointments in a day. So it's going to be a little bit easier for me to book that appointment. And of course, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to do that sale. The cool thing is when you're learning, you get to use a trainer like me to help you book those appointments, to help you do those sales. So the only thing you need to be learning right now is, how do I get 6 on the books? Once you start having those 6 the first week, then now you're on a roll. You can start to say, hey, maybe this week I had 2 sales. Maybe you got 3 sales. Maybe you had 1 the next one, but it's all going to kind of average out to where if you've got 6 appointments booked every single week, week in, week out, you will meet your income goal of $5,000. You'll actually surpass it. If you're doing all of those things, you will actually be on track to get your next promotion, which means that these sales start to equal out even more income for you. Now, as you're doing that, of course, you might be actually growing an agency. You're going to be learning leadership along the way, all of those kinds of things. So if you're someone that wants to be a coach, be a leader, there's definitely a pathway for you to do that. If you want to be a producer, as those production numbers get up, we actually can advance and pay here without recruiting, which is really cool. So this is just an idea of, how do I even know what I need my week to look like so that I can hit my income goal? Now we take that and we create a daily activity requirement. I would suggest as a minimum that would translate for that person that wants $5,000 of income. They need to do 5 reach outs at least a day. I would suggest that some days they're doing more. If you're coming up on Saturday, Sunday, and you're looking at your week ahead and you don't have your 6 booked, you need to hit it hard so that whatever it takes to meet that number, you're going to meet that number. But on a daily basis, if you build the habit of a minimum standard of 5 reach outs a day, those 5 reach outs could come from any of those buckets. But 5 reach outs a day, you're going to build momentum so that eventually you will just have 6 booked for the next coming week. That also is it's a tiny standard, 5 reach outs a day. It can take you 10 minutes. It could take you 5 minutes. Sometimes we think, oh my God, I need an hour to do calls. I need an hour to do social media. And so we just don't do it. We just push it off because it feels so big. Just 5. Anyone can do 5. No matter how crappy you're feeling that day, you can do 5. But often what you'll find is you're in the zone, you will do more than 5. So if you start your reach outs and you're like, I'm in the zone, you can do 10, you can do 20, you can always do more. But setting that standard, at least for me, just having that minimum standard for myself made such a big difference in my business. I would suggest having a tracker. Maybe you write it down on Excel. Maybe you write it down in a notebook. And every single day before you go to bed, if you don't got 5 checked off, you don't go to bed. And you just string those days together and you will get results in your business. And you're also growing your mindset at the same time. So minimum standard of 5 reach outs a day, 1 post a day to start building that attraction seed, right? We want to keep planting those seeds because we want to have a point where people reach out to us. It's really, really cool. I have people reach out to me every day right now to book onto my calendar. It's very cool, but you've got to plant the seeds. You've got to do this consistently for enough days, weeks, months, regardless of the result, for you to be able to ever have a harvest. And then I think really important is having one mindset or one filling up activity, right? We've been doing all this out energy. We need to bring some energy back in. So that could be attending a training. So you should be attending training at least once a week, because if you don't, you will quiet quit. You will be a lonely island. You will have a bad day and you'll be like, I just suck at this. I quit. At least once a week to know what the heck is going on in the team. So you're not saying, oh, I didn't know about that training. I didn't know about that thing. Okay. But it's also going to fill you up. So come at least once a week to a training. So every day you're going to do at least one of these activities. So it could be a mindset activity, could be attending training, or it could be listening to a great podcast. So Ray Higdon, his old stuff, go right to the back, 2017-ish. Ray Higdon, he's got a great podcast called Home Based Business. Ray Higdon, 2017, and then listen forward. He has so much of these fundamentals that I'm teaching. All of the reach outs that I did when I did 5 a day, 20 a day, 100 a day, 200 a day to get my business going, I learned it from Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon and Alex Hermosi right now, and Layla Hermosi, they have really good leadership stuff. So if you're becoming a trainer and things like that, that one I think is really good. So a podcast, or maybe you're an audiobook person, or maybe you're a YouTube person, you're going to watch these different people. They all have YouTube accounts, right? But filling up an activity, something that's making your mindset better, something that's helping you realize, yes, there's struggle to get reward. Yes, this business is worth it. Yes, I'm worth it. Yes, my dreams are worth it. Yes, when I wrote down my why in my first training appointment, that's important. And if you don't do all of these things to build your business, my question to you is, if not this, then what? What is it that's going to get your why accomplished? What is it that's going to give you the income level required so that you could take your family on a vacation every year without fail? What is it that's going to get that college fund paid for? What is it that's going to get your debt paid off? What is it? If not this, cool. If you're like, I don't think this insurance thing is for me, cool. But I want to ask you, what then? What have you found that is an alternative? For me, there was nothing else that gave me the flexibility of time, that gave me the income level where I could make $1,000 in a couple of hours. Nothing else. But to get me to where I am today, I did all of these things. I did the 200 messages a day. I did the calls. I did the uncomfortable. And the thing is that your mind is going to fight like heck for you to stay comfortable. Comfortable is safe. Comfortable keeps us in prehistoric days from getting eaten by the dinosaur. Comfortable keeps us in prehistoric days from falling off the cliff. But comfortable in this day and age keeps us broke, keeps us struggling, keeps us with all of our hopes and dreams stuck inside of us and never actually being able to come out. So fight that as hard as you can. The biggest reason I see people quit is because they don't fight that. They do not ever give themselves a real chance to succeed. And they just kind of quiet quit on themselves. They don't usually sit down and say, I think I'm going to quit, but they say, this feels a little uncomfortable. This is stretching me. This is making me feel awkward. I think I'm just going to not do it. And you know what? That's okay if that's your choice, but those goals, those whys that you wrote down are probably never going to happen. So you just need to make a choice. So I hope your choice is to fight through. I hope your choice is to keep communicating. And I hope your choice is to create a DMO that you can stick to, and then you actually stick to it. Okay. Just write it down every single day. It feels so freaking great when you can look back and say, I did that DMO check mark. It's going to build your self-confidence. It's going to build your belief in yourself that you deserve to win, because you do deserve to win. So it doesn't matter which pillars you use, how you get them, how you get the appointments does not matter. But you need to hit your weekly number of appointments booked. That is the way you get your income goal done. So that's a highlight of what I look at as marketing your business. This is how you do it. Okay. And I will have more training, or you've been to more training on the pillars more deeply. There is already a video on your warmish market. But I hope this just gives you a high level idea of what is in my head when I say market your business and use the 3 pillars.